Yo guys, what's up? Part 2 of this four-wheeler project. We just got the carburetor in just today from eBay. And it is a genuine Makuni carburetor. So that's awesome. Don't want none of that Chinese junk. It's disgusting. I'll get this all cleaned up and hopefully it'll run good with it on. I obviously want to protect my fingers from harsh chemicals. I'm just going to start with a toothbrush and some contact cleaner to at least get this thing a little just cleaned up. If I had an ultrasonic cleaner, this would go in the ultrasonic cleaner. I don't think it's working, so I'm gonna mix in some extra chemicals with this. The thing I want to do now is just spray this oil injection port. Absolutely nothing is coming out of that. Let me try this one. The Chinese baby. I just did my best to agitate all the dirt on it. And I'm gonna probably take some degreaser to it. I'm gonna have to. And then just brush it down. And then I need to clean this oil injection port out. And then I think I'll rob some parts off the Chinese one. For example, screws, because I don't really want to buy a rebuild kit. They look almost identical, but you know, like those indents are just not the same at all. So I'm just gonna use this gunk degreaser and just brushes to do it. So. Let's see what this thing has to offer. I think the gasket's good. All I need to do is just... I knew that was gonna happen. Bro, I don't know how to get this thing on. Okay, I guess I'll do it later. But... I'm just gonna use this to push that out. Alright, let's see here. Is this thing worn out? Okay, that's better. It's not focusing. I guess it's just all metal. There's no rubber tip, so it can't wear out. It's a little worn, but it's not really anything that would do anything. So this looks clean. I guess I'll just drive it back in. I don't think I have to do anything to this carb. Dang it. This is the hard part. Yes, I got it. Okay. I'm just gonna adjust that. Maybe clean this off. Maybe they're a little bent up, but looks like they're a little bent up, but it's fine. I think I might want to use that. So, is that mold? Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean this later. I'll come back to this in around a couple hours. So, all right, I recently received this box of parts, and what's in it is, these aren't for the LT80, but they're for polishing plastics. But I have a piston from Pro X. I have a cylinder honer because the piston cylinder scratched a little bit. I have a gasket kit from Tusk, and these are for the other four-wheeler, for that one, which is a beast of a four-wheeler. But that's what came in. So I'm gonna get this piston installed, and I'm gonna hone the cylinder. Well, not hone it, but just, you know, remove all those scratches. I'm going to use that cylinder hone to remove all the scratches on the cylinder, and hopefully the cross hatching is still going to be there, because I don't know if you can see, but there's scratches all along that cylinder. And this carburetor's good condition, so I'm going to have to just put it back together, clean it, put it back together, and then see if this thing runs. So yeah, I just sprayed every hole I could find with the carb cleaner in the carburetor, and I found out that it is way too cold today. It is 0 degrees out. It is so cold, and my hands are just, I can't even feel like any liquid on them. But I'm just gonna take all the stuff, I'm just gonna take all the screws off this one probably and just replace them, put them on this one. This carburetor's in good condition. I mean, there's nothing mechanically wrong with it, I don't think. Like, choke moves, had carb cleaner go through it fine. I was just worried about the, whatever this thing is called, gets the oil from the oil pump, and I don't want that to be dirty, or else it's just gonna ruin the top end. It's just gonna have a top end rebuild for no reason. So, okay, so first things first with taking off this piston is you need to remove this serre clip, keeping the wrist pin in. I'm using a pick. It's not really. It'd be better if I had a flashlight, but they're all dead. Okay, I'm gonna use, I'm gonna try using a flathead screwdriver instead. This is very hard on this tiny little piston. Okay, I don't know why this thing's not out yet. This thing's gonna go flying as soon as it. Okay, I guess not. This thing is destroyed. Now I have to go to the other side. And have to push on the push on that. This thing is kind of stuck. Oh my gosh. This is a pretty unprofessional way of doing it, but I don't think you're gonna need to save this unless your kit doesn't come with it. Dang. That is stuck. Okay. There it went. That's gonna be your wrist pin there. Okay, now it should just come off like that. And yep, this thing, I don't even know why it's scratched. It's just so weird. Not the piston's off. Take this off. Your wrist pin bearing. It's not that bad. But now what you can do is you can open your new piston. So now this is the part where you're gonna open your new piston and what the heck is this thing? I have no idea what the heck this is. Okay, so that noise is the heater, propane heater in the background, but it actually got going now. So you're gonna want to put your new rings in the cylinder right there, and you push it down with the piston like this. Get it all seated correctly. Make it all level. Then you want to check the clearance, so 0.002 inches. Alright, we're good on that one. Now I'm going to check this one. So again, just squeeze it in there. Check it down. That's a fit, so this makes it easier to install, so gonna want to take these. Take one of them, try to put it in there before you get the piston in, so it makes it easier on yourself. There are many ways to get it in, and I obviously don't know any of them because I cannot get it in, but I had someone else do it for me. Okay, I'm gonna have to use this old wrist pin here. I'm gonna put the piston on with the arrow face. Okay, because my camera died, I'm just gonna do a little representation on my computer. So this is the connecting rod and this is the wrist pin bearing. Before you put everything on, you're just gonna want to put assembly lube on the wrist pin bearing. And then you're going to want to take the piston, put it over this, put this hole over this, and then you're going to want to put assembly lube on the wrist pin, and then you're going to push it through this hole. So it's going to look like this, and you're going to push the wrist pin through this hole. And then on the other side, you're going to take the wrist pin and put it in like I did before on the other side. And some pistons, there is an arrow that marks either the intake or the exhaust side, and most of the time it's the exhaust side. But you want to check with the manufacturer. It's just going to look like this. That's all it is. And for my case, it was the exhaust side, so that's all there is to it. Okay, now that your piston's in, you're going to put the next circlip in. Things you want to do when you do this, you're going to want to get any sort of thing to block stuff from going into the crankcase. Just going to stuff this under there. This is a very important step. You do not want anything going in there. Now I'm going to take the circlip, and I'm just going to grab some needle nose pliers. Hopefully it goes better for me this time. I'm also going to use a screwdriver, a little flathead screwdriver. Okay, I'm just going to try. Put it in here. Rotate it. Okay. I'm just going to make sure it's fully seated. Just going to take a paper towel and clean that out a little bit. It has a little dirt in it. Okay, that's how I'm going to do that. Now you can take the paper towel out. Okay, that's fully seated. You definitely want to make sure it's fully seated. Now, I'm just going to take a razor blade. This is not the best one, but I don't really care. I'm just going to take a razor blade. I'm going to scrape off the old gasket material. That might not be a good enough job for some people, but I'll call it there because I'm not trying to, I don't need anything more than that. And I think the base gasket might have blown on this, because I mean, I tried cleaning some of it off with the razor blade, but like, look how dirty this is inside the motor. It's like the base gasket blew, then someone just ran it with all that oil shooting out everywhere. So I don't know. It's pretty gross. But I'm just gonna leave it because as long as it's mechanically working, I don't really care, and no one's gonna see it. This goes without saying, but make sure you also use a razor blade to scrape off the gasket material off of the cylinder, and make sure you scrape it off of the head, or just wherever there's gasket material left over. So I did that already. It's not pretty, but next step I have to do is hold the cylinder a little bit, because as you can see, it is scratched. So the next step I'm actually going to do is put this stud back in, because it fell out. The bolt is just rusted to it. I'm just going to put a little assembly lube on that. I'm just going to thread it in. Oh. Then, as I'm tightening it, usually any stud will do about like 5 foot-pounds. And actually the nut just broke loose. Okay, this is what you want to do in this situation though. I'm just going to put that like that. You're going to take a nut that fits the size of this. And you're also going to tighten it. Just tighten the outside one as much as possible. I'm just going to stop there just to be safe. It's a little rusted out. I'm not going to do anything about that. You can just take a Scotch-Brite in WD-40 if you want. Wow, it's really not coming off. I actually am going to do this. I'm just going to take a little wire brush. Try to get all the rust off. You can see it coming off there. It's going a little farther. Hopefully it comes off. Okay, I did it. Now it'll come off, but I'm going to do that again. Just to make sure it's in there. I don't want this thing coming off again. Just do like 5 foot-pounds of torque, which is about that. Alright, that looks like it's good to me. There we go. Just gonna do this one a little bit too. That looks good to me. For 1989, that's all I'm gonna do. Next step after this, I'm gonna take this hone and I'm gonna hone all the scratches out. These scratches are pretty bad. Okay, so basically what a hone does is bring back the cross hatching on the cylinder, which provides a better seal for the rings. This is what we're gonna do. Okay, I'm just gonna use some 2-stroke oil to get this thing lubed up. You can use WD-40 if you want, but dab it on my finger. Come over here and put it on this too. That's not what I was trying to do. Whatever. Just want to put these in here. I'll do slow RPM and move the drill fast so you can get a 45 or 60 degree angle on your cross hatching. So that's not what you want to do. I'm gonna get on my oil again and I'm gonna add some more. I'm just gonna do 15 more passes up and down, and then, or you know, I'm gonna do like 30. That was only 20, but I'm gonna re-lube it. I'm gonna just do 10 more now. Okay, I'm gonna re-lube it again, but this time I'm gonna switch directions on the drill. It is not really removing these gouges, but I think this is all I have. It's better than nothing, so Let's do 10 more passes. I'm just going to take this rag, spray it with brake cleaner or contact cleaner. Now I'm just going to wipe it down. I'm actually going to spray some in the cylinder too. Yeah, this thing really refreshed the cross-hatching on this. This is only my second time doing this, so if I did it a little bad, just in the comments say something. If you have any tips. You can see that. That is some cross-hatching. That is some cross-hatching. And it does look like I got a little bit of the scratching out. I actually cannot feel it at all. Not with my fingernail. I can on this side. This side is bad. I don't know what happened on this side. It's just awful. So now we can put it on the piston. It is ready. I think it's ready. Well, first we're gonna do, I'm just gonna spray these power valves because it looks like there's crap in them. I can't really do anything else but that. Then I'm gonna just wipe it down a third time with this random rag. Actually, forgot to pour it. This one's disgusting. Running out of this stuff a little bit. Let me see if it's dirty now. Doesn't look dirty to me. I'm just gonna tear a little piece off and just shove it in there. Now I can grab it out. You do not want this cylinder to be dirty. Here's the fun part. We're gonna put the cylinder on the piston. So we need to prep this, and you can either use 2-stroke oil or you can use assembly lube, which is what I'm gonna be using. I say it's pretty self-explanatory. Just gonna put this on the cylinder wall. Take your finger and just spread it around. Just cover the whole cylinder wall. And just put it straight on my finger if you want. Just go crazy and cover the cylinder wall. Don't do that. Ow. Flip it over. Now it should be covered in the assembly oil or 2-stroke oil. Now you can oil the cylinder. Okay, now you're going to do the same thing on here. So it's going to be the gaps in the rings, you're going to want to line them up with the notches on the piston, or else you're going to have a hard time getting this thing on. Now what I do is I put it bottom dead center, like this. Alright, so you're just going to put the cylinder on. Don't force it. You don't want to force it. Alright. Okay, now that the head is on, you want to make sure that the piston moves freely. Let's see here. Alright, this piston moves freely with no stops. Alright, now I'm just going to clean up the top. I'm going to get rid of this excess assembly lube. I'm also going to take some contact cleaner and clean up these threads. As you can see, the cylinder is on the piston, Now we need to install the top end gasket and the head. And then you're done with the top end rebuild, except for putting on the exhaust. One thing, I forgot the base gasket, which is awful if you forget that. So I'm just going to take this off real quick, put the base gasket on, and then I'll put the head gasket on and torque the head on. Okay, so I have the head sitting on the grinder here. I have the cylinder. Okay, so I have my head gasket here. I'm going to place it facing bulge side up. I really don't know if there's a difference. There's not really any information online, so I'm just going to do bulge side up, that inner ring. It goes like that. There is also this rubber piece that slips over this exhaust manifold, like so. And there's 4 bolts that go on the head. I mean nuts. There's 4 nuts that go on the head. Now I can hand tighten these. Okay, it says 8 to 12 Newton meters or 6 to 8.5 pound-feet of torque. So I have the torque wrench set to 8, so well, first I'm going to start with 6 pound-feet of torque. That is extremely low. Okay. Now I'm up to 8.5. Let's do this. Okay, this is where I would check for compression, but because the battery is off, I don't really feel like putting it back on. And it's also late at night. I don't want to make a lot of noise. I'm going to have to do that tomorrow. But hopefully it has compression. It should have a lot of compression now after what I just did. I guess I'll see you guys in part 3.